Okay, let's talk training tips or practice tips here. Something sure we've gone over before, but worth repeating. So remember, if you're having a hard time with something, you always break things down further. So if you want, if you feel it would help, and very well could, for like the first couple of days, do less. So you can just focus on that as one thing and this as another thing. You can focus on the transition and just get that down. So nothing wrong with doing that. So break things down into smaller pieces if you need to. Just like here, like you can work on 1 bar at a time, 2 bars at a time. Part of that is cut off. Like 3 bars at a time, 4 bars at a time, and then the whole thing. And you can work the other way too, where you work that up by itself, then you work those 2 up, then those 3, then those 4, and then finally all 5. So break things down if you need to. You don't have to start working everything up right away, especially if there's a specific trouble point, like perhaps the end here. Just work on the end and then add a little bit, add a little bit, add a little bit, and so on. So, things to keep in mind, because if you don't get things up to a certain speed in a week, I mean, that's just how it goes sometimes. So, try those ideas if you need to. And then, yeah, you have a better chance of success just getting a little bit up versus trying to do the whole thing at the same right away. Which is why I kept scaling back number 1 here. I was like, okay, well, let's see because if you weren't going to be able to get up to at least 160 the first practice session, that was telling me that we needed to do like 1/8 notes instead. But it's like, well, let's see if we can do the triplet thing still if we just decrease the challenge in a different way. So that's why I had you double things up and not move around so much. And it worked. All right, 60, number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, that was fucking great. 1, have a laugh. 1, 2, 3, 4. One 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And high E string. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I still feel it's way easier to do it on the high E string. Remember, I had you start doing it on the low E string because you kept doing all this stuff with the hammer-ons and pull-offs instead of just keeping the hand steady. If it feels like that pattern is just way too much of a pain in the ass to do on the low E string, go ahead and move back to the high E string. Just be very careful that you're not using your arm to make any of the motions. Alright, number 2, the fancy one. 60, 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't go up at the end there because it just doesn't resolve. Had to pick a resolve note that sounds good. 120, 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. Best of luck to you. Remember, break things down into small pieces to help yourself out. And I'll see you again next week.